Hey guys, David here. Welcome to Digital Outlook, where you're going to find the best community in all of crypto. In today's video, the plot thickens with a potential twist in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. So guys, without further ado, why don't we get to it? So guys, right at the top of the video, I'm going to ask you, would you smash that like button down there so the algorithm will push this information out to as many people as possible? That would be absolutely fantastic. So guys, if you have been here for any time at all, you know one of the biggest deals when it comes to XRP is how is this case between Ripple and the SEC all going to pan out? And we have heard practically every suggestion, idea, and opinion, from summary judgment to settlement, you name it. Well, John Deaton has thrown a new twist into the mix, and it's one that I've only heard just a few times. And guys, just take a look right over here at this article. A twist in XRP lawsuit summary judgment, it's asking. XRP lawyer affirmed that the U.S. SEC's argument around the common enterprise can be a point of interest in the Ripple lawsuit. So just take a listen here. A win for Ripple, a loss for the digital asset industry, or a settlement between the U.S. SEC and defendants. Every crypto enthusiast is waiting for an outcome in the long-awaited XRP lawsuit. No kidding. I mean, this thing has been dragging on for over 2 years now, and many of us believe that we're about to see this wind down to some kind of an end, but it could have a twist, and just listen on. However, an attorney involved in the XRP lawsuit has stated that there is a possibility the judge can reject both the summary judgment. So John Deaton, representing XRP holders, amicus curiae, in the Ripple lawsuit, affirmed that U.S. SEC's argument around the common enterprise can be a point of interest here. He added that Judge Annalisa Torres could deny the summary judgment over this particular argument. What he's talking about there is she could deny the SEC and she could deny Ripple. So guys, what then would actually happen? This can lead the judge to rule out that there is genuine issue of material facts compared to the existence of a common enterprise. However, then the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit will go to a jury trial. Guys, this would just drag this thing out even way further than what we're thinking about right now. Possibly, maybe even another 12 months. Who knows, but it could be a big deal. Meanwhile, it is still difficult to predict the outcome until the Rule 56 facts and the rest of the underlying evidence is revealed. Deaton, XRP lawyer, highlighted that the commission claims are unconstitutional as they expand the Howey test beyond recognition. The SEC has really blown this totally out of proportion and in fact are trying to make something stick that really doesn't even apply. None of the issues with respect to Ripple and how they actually utilized XRP meet any of the prongs of the Howey test, and the SEC has been pushing it. Now, however, the SEC, in its response to the writ of mandamus in the XRP lawsuit, agreed that the court will decide whether the commission's theory is valid or not. In the last course of action, Deaton mentioned that the application of the Howey test is not difficult to analyze. He added that attorneys involved in crypto litigation and regulatory policy must get regulators and judges to cease focusing on the token. Guys, in the Howey test, the orange was not a security. It was the investment contract of the orange groves. And that's the point. XRP is not the security. It is not a security. There is no investment contract with us that have purchased XRP that Ripple has some obligation to fulfill to us. And we're not like a stock. We don't get to vote on any prospectus. We don't even get to, see any kind of information that comes out that normally shareholders would see or vote on the board of directors or anything like that. And we certainly don't get any dividends. Guys, Ripple owes us no obligation for our purchase of XRP, and there was no investment contract whatsoever. And that's what he's pointing out here. And he's saying, however, the token itself stands irrelevant to the Howey analysis, the attorney stated. As per reports, SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce criticized other officials for focusing too much on the token. Now, where this story came from, guys, was right over here where John Deaton just released this Twitter thread today. And just take a listen at the top here, because here he's saying, here's how the judge could give Ripple an outright win. People are focusing on the pre-1933 blue sky argument. That argument is for the Second Circuit and Supreme Court. I don't believe Judge Torres agrees with that argument, although the current Supreme Court could. Now, what he's taking a look down here, and he's going down on that, and I'm just going to skip a little bit here. But let's just pop back in. Essentially, the SEC is applying the old but-for causation test in this case. The SEC essentially argues, but for Ripple executives, Jeb McCaleb, and Chris there, creating XRP, right? XRP wouldn't exist. But for Ripple helping create a secondary market XRP, a secondary market wouldn't exist. It's that but for, well, if they didn't do this, then this wouldn't happen. They wouldn't do this. Guys, come on. That's like saying, oh, well, if Ford Motor Company didn't, invent the car, then people wouldn't have had accidents. Well, yeah, that's true. But does that make Ford Motor Company responsible for every accident that ever happened with an automobile? The argument is completely ridiculous. So he's using this example. In other words, if El Salvador would have made XRP legal tender like it did with Bitcoin, the SEC is claiming it would all be due to Ripple's past, present, and future efforts. It's an extraordinary, all-encompassing theory, but that's not how securities laws gets applied. Think of how arrogant the SEC is to claim that if a foreign country deems something legal tender, it will still be a security. I mean, it's truly outrageous when you think about it. The way the judge could give Ripple an outright victory is simply reject the SEC's sweeping claims and say you didn't prove any specific transaction. The SEC is all over the place with identifying the common enterprise. In fact, guys, they can't identify what it is. First, it was Ripple. Then its experts said it was the entire XRP ecosystem, which includes the exchanges, all XRP holders, you and I, and even independent developers like Spend the Bits, which offers an alternative to on-demand liquidity. But then the SEC abandoned its so-called BS expert, and they didn't rely on that testimony. Instead, the SEC argued XRP represents the common enterprise, while also arguing XRP represents all of the promises and efforts made by Ripple. I mean, you can just see how far-reaching and truly ridiculous this is. They can't get it to meet the Howey test, so they have to kind of reinvent language and actually expand the definition of what the Howey test is in order for it to fit their narrative. It's completely ridiculous. So what this means is the SEC is essentially arguing that XRP itself meets the second and third prongs of the Howey test as a matter of law. The SEC has the burden of proof. It has failed to satisfy the second prong of the Howey test, and it has failed to go transaction by transaction. This is why I'm confident, says John Deaton, the SEC has not granted summary judgment in the manner that they have requested. It is also why I could see the judge saying denied and arguing the jury must decide certain issues, e.g. non-investment uses of XRP, recklessness, fair notice, etc. So his point comes down to this. What some people have failed to consider is that Judge Torres could say denied to both summary judgment motions, Ripple and the SEC, and it goes to jury. Until we get to read all the Rules 56 facts, now I'm not exactly positive of what all these facts are, but he's pointing this out here, and read all the underlying evidence relied upon, it's nearly impossible for me to predict anything more, Deaton has said. So guys, look, if it came out The Judge Torres says, look, there's just too much muddy water here. This is going to have to go to trial to get decided. Then I think we're going to be waiting a little bit longer before we get the absolute clarity that we're looking for. But at the end of the day, guys, I think we are genuinely going to get it. Now, personally, I believe that we'll probably see a settlement before that all goes down the hill. But we'll see what really takes place. And most of us are expecting some kind of decision out of Judge Torres either by March or by the end of May. And I think it's going to be amazing. But despite all of that that's going on, guys, has the ecosystem of XRP shrunken in any way? Or has it absolutely expanded? Well, guys, we know it has absolutely expanded. Naveen Gupta just there last month was talking about Ripple expanding into the Middle East and North Africa. We know they've already expanded into Europe and they're expanding into South America and on and on. Well, take a look at this next article right here. Montenegro central bank teams up with Ripple on digital currency pilot project. Guys, they are working to develop a CBDC and a digital currency stablecoin for Montenegro. And we know that Ripple's already involved in the digital pound. We know they're involved in the digital dollar. They're working with Australia with their central bank digital currency. Guys, you can see the handwriting on the wall. Now, just imagine, do you really believe that a $15 billion unicorn corporation like Ripple is trembling in its boots, thinking they're going to lose this lawsuit with the SEC, and yet these nations are making deals with them so that they can build the infrastructure for what the new money for this global digital economy is going to be, the next evolution of our monetary system. Guys, I think it's almost ridiculous to think about that because you can just see it's expanding, and I think it's just going to be an amazing ride. I genuinely believe that this year we are going to see some serious clarity come out for XRP, and it is going to be probably one of the most, if not the only digital asset with legal clarity. And for me, guys, that is a major plus, and I just can't wait till we can get that victory under our belt and really start moving on with the development of this ecosystem. It is going to be absolutely wild. So guys, let me just take a few seconds to talk about our coaching program for those who don't know. With this next bull run coming up, you are definitely going to want to have your plan in place. And what our coaching program is, that is where you and I can meet personally one-on-one for 1 hour over Zoom. And during that time, we work together to develop your exit strategy. We take a look at your portfolio and make sure that it's balanced against your goals. We can even help you get your assets off an exchange and onto a hardware wallet, along with delivering to you some amazing techniques that'll really help you in this space. Now, the cost of that is $250, and if that's something that interests you, you write me right there at coaching@thedigitaloutlook.com and we'll get you all booked in. So guys, as always, I truly hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I want to invite you to join the conversation and drop your comments right down there in the comments section. Open it up to the community and start a discussion. Now, many of you know I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice, but if you found value in it, if you'd hit that like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And hey, don't forget to hit that notification bell down there so that you don't miss out on any of the videos that we're uploading. And if you're one of the thousands of people who have been watching these videos but you haven't yet subscribed, would you do the channel a favor and join this community? We would really love to have you on board. So in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one.